Heather.
Hey, Justine.
What are you doing?
I am just hanging out at the shop. We're drinking some coffee. Getting ready for Yarncantations episode 2.
Episode 2. I'm so excited. Hi, everyone.
Hello.
I'm Justine Chanel, and you can find me at Justine Chanel on everywhere.
I am Heather, and I can be found at Heathered Yarn Co. everywhere.
And we are excited to share some finished objects today and some Stashquisitions.
Got some whips.
Oh, I have a few whips. Yeah, for
Yes,
sure.
Good.
All right. Well, do you want to start with yours or mine?
Let's start with F.O.s.
Okay.
Okay, so I have one finished object. You might remember this.
I can't believe you
from
finished this
episode 1.
already.
Oh, I finished it. I should have finished another thing, but we'll get to that in whips. So I finished my Amani Shawl by Tammy. Gore is the designer. I didn't block this very well.
It looks good to me.
I blocked it without pins because I apparently took all of my T-pins to the shop because I thought, oh, I own a LYS now. I don't ever need to block things at my home again, but that was not real.
I like it, Heather. It turned out beautiful.
Thanks. So this was such a fun pattern to knit. I like patterns that, keep my attention the whole time. We got the brioche, and then after brioche you have some fun eyelets, then some striping with little garter bits in the stripes, which I like.
I love this.
And you end with a little eyelet.
Yes, look at how sweet that is.
Very cute.
That looks so good.
So Tammy Gore, thank you. Beautiful, beautiful pattern. I really enjoyed
I love Tammy Gore
knitting this.
This turned out gorgeous. I love the kind of autumn colors with that gray. That's your Release the Bats, which is one of my favorites.
Yes, and then the rest is spun right round.
Nice. Congratulations, Heather.
Thanks so much.
You finished your shawl. How many shawls have you finished this year? Is this the first one of the year?
I
don't even know.
I don't even
It might be. Well, you're way ahead of me. One shawl this year and one sweater.
No, I finished a sweater this year.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe this is the only shawl. The last week's my little cowl shawl doesn't really count. So this just might be my first finished shawl of 2021. And it's March. Wow. Okay.
Well, you're way ahead of me. I might finish 2 shawls this year.
Wonderful.
I know. Well, should I show you the one I'm doing for this knit along too?
Well, first I feel like you should tell me what you're wearing.
Oh, what I'm wearing. Okay. So this is one of my favorite shirts. It says Salty Crafter, and this is from Lady Dye Yarns, and I got it at Stitches last year with you, and I love it, and it's super comfy and it's super soft, but it's also pretty on brand. Salty Crafter.
Lady Dye.
I know.
Knows Justine so well.
Yeah, she designed it just for me. But that's it. That's all I'm wearing.
That was like the happiest I've ever seen Justine before is at Stitches. We met Lady Dye.
I know. It was the best.
And Justine cried.
Shush, don't tell the people that I cried. But no, that was great. And I got to meet Diane, and we, I went over to her booth and shopped around, and she came over to ours and shopped around.
So
I know, it was so sweet. Got our photos together. Yeah, I'm really glad that we got to meet at Stitches. That was amazing.
The last.
In the before times. And so I got this shirt from her, and I got some yarn and other little goodies that she had there. But this was my big purchase. I was so excited.
Beautiful.
I know. What are you wearing?
I have my Knit Fast Dye Yarn shirt, and this is from Skein.
That one. Oh,
and Skein does really cool, beautiful art.
And it has so much detail.
Knitting t-shirts, which I'm all about. So this is one of my favorites.
Knit Fast Dye Yarn.
Knit Fast Dye Yarn. And so Skein, you can find her on Instagram at Skein. Amazing.
There's so much good stuff.
Yeah.
There's so many cool designs.
I have my Oink Pigments earrings. These are gauge earrings. Pretty fun.
Those
So if
are
you're
cool.
knitting and you're like, oh my god, what size needles am I using?
Because you can't read the numbers anymore because they've rubbed off. Yeah, boom, right there.
Yeah.
I love
If
it.
you got DPNs that never
correspond to the rest of the set.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
I know that. So that's what I got. I'm wearing another black cardigan. This one does not have all the buttons. Not so many as
Do you need
last
some new
time.
buttons?
No, it has a ton of buttons, just not like double buttons like my last.
Oh,
sweater.
yeah.
Got my Hawk House amethyst on.
I know. I'm not wearing any jewels today. Just my Lady Di Salty Crafter.
That's all you need.
A little naked.
Okay. But I would like to see. You finished something?
Okay, so I thought I hadn't. I just thought, oh, I'll just bring my WIPs because I haven't finished anything recently. So I was going to show you a pair of socks that I've been working on.
Yes.
So, well, let me just get into it. Okay, so everyone who's a sock knitter probably has a pair of socks that you take with you places. It's like your emergency pair, not the one you're knitting on all the time. So I cast these on like definitely in like 2016 or maybe earlier.
What year are we in?
2021.
That's 5 years
Yep.
ago.
And so I've only
Great.
ever knit on them like, in the waiting room waiting for an appointment, or if there was like a traffic jam and it's in your bag or whatever, like traveling maybe. But I thought it was a WIP, and I went into my bag. I cast them.
Yay!
I cast them off and forgot. So the ends need to be woven in. They need to be blocked. But I cracked myself up. I thought this was like a forever WIP.
Hilarious.
I don't know when I bound these off. I have no idea. No recollection at all. So apparently I did that. So if you're a sock knitter and you have tons of socks on the needles, go check your WIP bags. Maybe one of them is actually a finished object.
Yeah.
Just cracks me up. So this is classic Regia. I mean, look at that. So self-patterning, which I love. And this is gonna, like, I don't know, last forever, this sock yarn. It's so good. And then I did like a fun, here, let me try and show you on the foot. I did like a fun little chevron pattern on the foot to kind of, it just adds like a little texture and makes that self-patterning yarn really pop. And this doesn't have a pattern, unfortunately. This is just my brain mushing together a bunch of different versions.
Maybe
so I
you
did.
should write a pattern.
Maybe I should write a pattern. I could. So
Do you
I
have
just.
a sock pattern?
I do not. I don't have a sock pattern yet. Okay.
Oh.
You want to help me with that? Because you're a big sock knitter too.
I do love knitting socks, but you know what I do when I finish socks?
Hmm.
I immediately put them on my feet. I don't leave them in a bag for 5 years. That's the first thing I do. I'm like, oh my god, look, I finished socks, and I just live in them.
I know.
I love knitted
Can
socks
I
so
make
much.
a confession? I've never knit myself a pair of socks.
Disgusting. You need to do that. What's wrong with you?
Because I have my three favorite dudes in my life all love hand knit socks, and so I'm always giving them the socks. So my dad, my father-in-law, and my husband. I know. And I have yarn. I have sock yarn for me. That's meant for socks for me.
So I know what your next cast on is.
So in 6 years, I will show you. No, I'm just kidding. But these are, I think, I can't even remember what I did for the toe and the heel, but I just mixed stuff together, and then I borrowed this chevron stitch from a pattern that I think has this all over the sock, which is kind of fun, but then I did it just on the front. But these are actually intended for my dad, so these are his size.
You know what's nice
So
about
I'm going to
knitting
send
socks
these to him soon.
for yourself and not for dudes?
You can put them on yourself and try them on.
Well, yeah, and you have little lady feet.
So they're faster? Is
Yes.
that what you're trying to say?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know.
Look at this.
I
This is
know.
like 5 inches longer than my foot is.
But this is
Giant.
a men's large or whatever size. This is one whole skein of Regia. So
yeah, I never
that's-
use a whole skein.
Yeah, that's the good
when
thing
I
is
knit
you
myself
can.
socks.
There's plenty
and
of yarn.
leftovers for mine.
But I know, no leftovers. So anyway, isn't that hilarious that I thought I was bringing you all WIPs and I have an FO?
That's crazy
Sneaky
talk.
FO. I
don't even know.
So now I just need to weave in the ends,
Great.
lock them, even though they look really good already, just because I guess I folded them and put them nicely in my bag, and then send these off to my dad.
That's so sweet.
Which
you
he'll
better
love.
get on that.
I know. So, that's my FO
Yay!
for this episode.
Beautiful.
Thought I didn't have one, but that's the only FO I've got.
Okay. Well, I got some WIPs.
Yeah, you want to talk WIPs? I'm excited because I have a brand new WIP. Should I go first?
I know
Do you want to go
what
first?
it is. You want to go first?
And if you watched our bonus episode, which we put on our Yarncantations IGTV, then you know what this is too.
Oh yeah, let's see it.
Okay, so as you guys know, Heather Yarn Co. is doing the winter knit along with Tammy Gore patterns, and there's a month left, so I thought I can do a shawl in a month. So I am joining. And first of all, let me show you my cute yarn bag, or project bag. So this is from Della Q, but my last name is Queely. It starts with a Q.
There you go.
So this is actually for me, and then I've got my cute little pins on here. I know. So good. So this is from Neighborhood Fiber Company, this is from Nerdbird Makery, and then this is from Firebird, which I love. Look at those.
Birds and nerds. All over
Birds
the
and
place.
nerds, I know. Okay, so I am doing the Livy shawl by Tammy Gore, and I just started. Wait, let me get myself straight and untangled, sort of.
Yes.
So I'm at the little corner of the asymmetrical shawl, and it's in this beautiful purple color. So this is Totally Rad yarn by Totally Rad Jess, and the color Nightshade. And then I'm doing Hellbent, which you can barely see because I've only done a couple of rows, and that's the spun right round in the color Hellbent. So yeah, it's asymmetrical, so you start with this triangle, and then you just keep adding stitches on each end to make it the right shape. And so I'm done with the main color. Now I'm onto the contrast color. You do a big chunk of contrast color, and then there's like a bunch of striping that starts to happen.
So that's fun. That keeps you.
Yes.
Keeps your attention.
And I was very motivated to get started with my contrast color because look at how good that is.
Oh, so pretty.
I love it. So everybody who was on our live that we did that special bonus episode helped me choose my colors. So I had a bunch to choose from because I'm indecisive, and we kind of like, Libra. I take my choices very seriously, and everyone kind of voted in the comments and with hearts, and this is what we ended up with. So I am excited.
Love it. Love it. You're off to a good start. You better get
working. I know. So the Livy shawl by Tammy Gore with Totally Red yarn, spun right round sock yarn. And you just need a main color and a contrast color. So I decided to do like a tonal with a speckle because I think that'll be really fun to do. And the purple really sets off. You can't see it in the camera, and I don't have enough rows to even really show you, but it's a gray base with tons of different colors speckled on it, which is my favorite. So that is my most recent WIP, just a few days old really. So we'll see if I can make it by April 7th.
Baby WIP.
And cast off and block. I have to block it too for the knit along?
Yes,
Are those special rules just for me?
Yes.
Okay, great. So that's that one.
I have a WIP that should be an FO. My Steve and I just had our 9-year anniversary.
Congrats.
Thank you. And I had planned on having something finished as an anniversary gift, like I usually do. I usually knit him socks for all anniversaries, and it's like, oh, he's been asking me for this like whatever Western Slope beanie.
What is that? I've never heard that pattern before.
So I was like, okay, I guess this is the yarn that we got at Firebird.
And he picked this out, right?
He picked out the yarn. He picks out his own yarn, and apparently patterns now, because he loves Justine or something. He's like, I want Western Slope beanie.
I love it.
So I think
it looks so good.
I did like 2 rows since last week when we showed it. I mean, maybe.
Great job, Heather.
Maybe. So,
I just love this
this
yarn.
is
though.
done
It's so
with the
good.
Dyer Project yarn from Firebird, and that has like the coolest like octopus logo on it that I love so much. So you can see a little
look
bit
at
of the
that
cable there. So I just did that really cool wrap, that cable wrap stitch. So yes, this probably looks the same as last week, but a little bit bigger, not finished and on Steve's head. During that snowstorm we just had, that would have been perfect for
I know. Oh well, we might get more. Well, does he know that's for him?
Yeah, it's like,
He knows it's
oh, happy anniversary. Here you go.
Here's a WIP.
Here's this not finished thing for you.
They love that.
They're used to it now.
They are used to it. I mean, yeah.
Especially those dudes in the in the shitty sock club. Catherine.
Yeah, our partners are the founding members of that club. That's a very special club to be in. When you either get a skein of yarn wrapped saying this will be socks maybe one day, years from now for sure, or on the needles. That's my favorite. I mean, Dano, like when he feels something that's slightly squishy and soft under the tree at Christmas, or like if I, a birthday gift or something, he kind of groans. Because he's like, is it done? Can I wear it right now? And I'm like, just open it and be quiet.
Steve had 3-year gloves. 3 Christmases.
Yeah.
1 year he got a whole glove. I think we skipped a year. He got nothing. So it's actually 4 years. The 3rd year he got half of the second glove.
Perfect.
And then finally the 4th year he got like all of the whole finished gloves, and like everyone in the family like applauded when he finished, because like, oh my god,
I love it.
This has been happening for so long. But those fingers, doing the fingers in the gloves, I'm not.
Oh, like not fingerless mitts.
No,
fingerless gloves.
like fingers in the gloves.
You love him too much.
Yeah, gross.
Yeah.
Well, because the first year we were pretty new, so I was like, oh, I love him so much. I want him to have the warmest hands.
Yeah.
Once you've been together forever, you're like, I will, knit you these fingerless gloves to keep you warm enough.
On one hand. That is hilarious. That's hilarious.
So yeah.
Yeah, so I have, I have like the toes of one pair of socks from last birthday, I think. I can't remember what occasion these are anymore. And then I have a skein of yarn that's, I can't remember the brand, but it's another like self-patterning stripe classic sock. It's probably Regia. And then I have, for Christmas, I got that Earl Grey, what's the one with the yak blended in?
Yeah, the gunpowder.
Gunpowder, yeah. So I got a skein of, I think it is, yeah, I think so. And it has, it's superwash and nylon, but it's got yak in it too, and it's so good. And I wrapped that up, and he was like, great, a skein of yarn, thank you so much.
All he's ever wanted.
But they know.
They know.
Our partners understand. Fine. Yeah. And we get to laugh about it. I think it's hilarious.
The gift is really our joy and their pain.
But at least I never told my dad I was making those socks for him.
See? Yeah. Good job.
So it'll be like a brand new present. Yeah, it'll be perfect.
Love it.
I know. Hilarious.
You have any other WIP?
I have, yes, I have one more.
Okay, great.
And again, I think the last time I showed this one, we were doing an Instagram live. So some people may have seen it, but I love this one so much. Okay, so let me get it straight so everyone can see it. Oh my goodness. It's a mess because I'm not taking care of my ends like I should. But this is, you're going to have to help me, Heather.
Okay.
This is the mini skein Merriment shawl by Totally Rad Jess. Oh, look at how good that looks. I love it so much. Okay, so again, another asymmetrical, so I'm, building up. Are you showing off my ends? I haven't woven in. Hey, stop that.
Oh, I mean.
let's change sides. But as the name indicates, it's mini skeins, which I just love mini skeins. I think they're so fun to knit with. But you start on the end you've got, Heather. You start with like, so you have one main contrast color. Yeah, one main contrast color, and and then you start to work in your mini skeins, and you need 10 different colors. And this would be a great scrap project too. And then you start to build up the rows and like do more and more repeats and stuff. Yes. And so now I'm at the last and final section I just started. Adorable. Where you do a big start to do big stripes of the mini skeins, so you get to see more of the colors. But yes, I love this pattern. So Mini Skein Merriment by Totally Rad Jess, and I think it's published through Cerulean Orchid, which is her partnership. So this gray yarn you might recognize from Heather's shawl. This is Release the Bats, one of my favorites. So that's my main color, and then 9 of the 10 are from Teal Torch Knits, and one of her mini skein. What would you call it? It's like a little set, of 9. Cute. And then the blue, this kind of like periwinkle blue, is from Me to Yarn, Jessie. Yeah. So I rounded it out, but I think this would be fun if you like had a bunch of scraps or random minis that you wanted to put together. It'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, you can do a
and it's all garter stitch, so it's really satisfying to knit it. This is like my potato chip, but then there's as soon as you're ready to start a new color, it's pretty much time.
I also love that you have like this super bright rainbow with a dark like gray and black, because then it really tones it down. Like
I know. And I love gray so much, so this will go with like all of the gray that I wear.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that.
I know. Beautiful. So this is fun. And then I've got some cute little progress keepers from Heather at Yarn Co. A little bunny and a little bee. So this is my WIP. I started this a long time ago, and I've just been knitting on it. This is like my in-between long-term project, so I work on this between other stuff.
So what would you say? Are you about 50% done with this?
I don't know, because I'm on the last section, but the shawl keeps getting bigger and bigger. So maybe, or maybe like 60, 70.
Perfect.
Yeah, so, and then also, just so everyone can learn from my pain, this is, all right, let's show off the ends, Heather.
Let's do it. I did it for you.
So this is where I started to use, I know, this is the point where I started to use the Weave and Steven. Don't ask me why I waited this long. I don't have a good reason. And then sometimes I would forget, and then I would forget again.
Weave and Steven. If you don't know, there's a YouTube tutorial from Stephen West with he uses so many colors in his patterns. So it's a good little sneaky Stephen West.
Yeah, I think he has a video on his YouTube. I think there's even Instagram videos. So wherever you follow Stephen West, go look up Weavin' Steven.
And if you're not, you should follow him everywhere, because he is hilarious.
But this is a great technique for when you are ending a color and joining a new color along an edge. And then Lisa Makes, who is one of the co-founders of Fiber Club, which is coming soon, which I'm so excited about. She has a technique that I don't know exactly how to describe it, but it's great for if you're changing colors or joining a new skein in the middle of a row. And so I think those two techniques together make this not don't do this. It helps you take care of your ends, basically, is what I want to say. But I don't know what I was thinking. I think I just got excited and decided I would care about it later. Past Justine did not care about future Justine, that's for sure. So I'll deal with that later.
Right. Oh my goodness.
Maybe we'll do it for stitch night with a glass of rosé in hand, and I'll just weave in my ends.
100 stitch nights.
Yeah,
we'll do that.
100 of them.
But it'll take a while.
Oh, and remember when you were asking, or telling me rather, that you like to keep a project bag in of like notions
Yes, they
inside
just
your
took mine
project
out.
bag.
Mhm.
So this is, by the way, I just have to show this off because I love this. So this was a gift from Heather. This is from Dawn Catherine Studios, and it is California as a hank of yarn.
I got that
Which I
from the Black Squirrel, Berkeley.
And I had my eye on it, and you surprised me and got it for me, and I love it. But I followed your advice, and instead of having like a pair of scissors and stitch markers loose in the bottom of the bag, my mother-in-law just sent me this. Shout out to Fran.
Hi,
This
Fran.
is, how cute is this?
Oh, it's
Look
very
at this
cute.
little bag. So it's got, you know, little cockatiels all over it, and it's made out of recycled, you know, plastic bottles and stuff. It's got this really big, nice handle on it. But it's just a nice little flat bag, and she knows that a knitter needs lots of little bags. So she sent this to me, and this just has, because for the pattern you have to snip your ends all the time. So I have this, and then
You're doing it right.
I'm doing it. I have my extra stitch markers, and then look, at some point I knew I might be weaving in some ends, and I stuck this in there.
Yeah, you're gonna need that.
But anyway, I love that idea, so I'm gonna start doing that more often.
Yes.
Putting a little notions bag inside of my project bag.
Yeah, I recommend that to everyone, especially if you are, you know, like not a monogamous knitter and you have, or crafter in general, crocheter, and you have like multiple projects going.
Yep.
You should definitely have project bags for all those projects.
Yes.
And you should have notions pouches in all of those bags.
Yes.
So even if it's whatever, like a Ziploc bag, just have something with little scissors, yarn needles, stitch markers, all the stuff that you might run into that you're going to, you know, eventually need.
It's such a good idea.
A crochet hook, always, if not a stitch fixer.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
For if you drop a stitch and you need immediate surgery.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that was the last of my whips.
Wonderful.
Do you have any more to
I
show?
have one more to show.
I love this project bag.
This is my Tanny Casey bag.
So pretty.
This has been everywhere with me. This is usually my to-go.
I like
bag.
how it has a nice flat bottom too.
Yeah, it has like sturdy
pretty.
waxed canvas bottom, with some cute stuff. I got a little spin cycle.
yeah.
It's like a super old spin
That's like
cycle.
an OG spin cycle.
Little pin.
I see some
Little
Shelly
button.
cans.
I got a Shelly can.
Future is full of finished
Your
objects.
future is full of whips.
Something like that.
Something, Shelly.
Something much more clever.
I have this this Machine Kill Fascist little typewriter pen. Not knitting.
So
That's my
great.
other thing. I do love typewriters. Okay, so in here I have, like, this is a nice project bag because this is a whole sweater.
A whole sweater.
So
Oh, I haven't
this
seen this
sweater,
one in a long time.
I am knitting with my Knit Cave Yarn Club colorway Let Love In, and
So
this
pretty.
is my favorite color I've ever dyed. I really like
That's a
it.
good one.
This is the DK weight. I always dye extra skeins for myself.
Yes,
when I
as
do
you
the
should.
Knit Cave, especially.
Do you like Knit Cave?
Love Knit Cave. Okay. He is not for everyone though, so don't worry about it.
He's for you though.
He's the only one for me.
Only one.
Oh my god, what's even happening? Okay, this is in try-on mode because it has two needles.
Oh, really? Oh, were you just putting it on?
Yeah.
Perfect.
So,
Okay.
this is my very V-neck
That looks so good.
raglan
Heather.
from Jessie May.
Oh, this yarn is so soft.
Super squishy. I'm very happy with it.
Is this your regular DK base?
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah. This
That's
is
awesome.
merino, superwash merino. And I did what you should do, Juliana, not calling you out or anything on our podcast, but I did do the blending technique where you do one row with one skein and the next row with the other skein,
alternate
so I
them.
always have two skeins going
Yeah.
at a time, which, you know,
Well,
it's
because
not
hand-dyed,
that hard.
hand-dyed,
You just
kettle
gotta do
dyed,
it.
they always are a little bit different.
I will say
No.
Juliana has had very good luck.
I know, I was just about to say, like, she lives on the edge and gets away with it. If
She
I
does,
do
she's
that,
so
the yarn
good.
gods are like, absolutely not, there's going to be a big line, and Juliana does it, and the yarn gods are like, it will be perfect.
Perfect little Juliana.
I know. So lucky.
There we go.
Oh,
Let's
look
see
at how
some of that
pretty.
color.
I know. Pink and brown are such a classic combo. So I love how you have a little bit of like brown and
Little
tan,
orangey bits.
little orangey. Yes.
And there's like
That
some
looks so good,
aubergine
Heather.
in there too.
Oh yeah, some nice like dark purple moments.
Mhm.
Yes.
So
It's beautiful.
So yeah, I can't wait to finish this. This will be, I'll probably do 3/4 sleeves, and it'll be a nice spring wear.
Are you going to do a cropped size?
I'll do
or-
cropped, not too cropped, probably about here
Nice.
or so. But yeah, so that's it for whips for
Beautiful.
me.
I think last time I saw that, you didn't have sleeves at all. Like you were not.
To the sleeves?
I don't think
Yeah,
so.
and then Catherine DK put her band
Neckline,
on, the
yeah.
neckline on, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna do that
Like
too.
before you're to that part of the
Yeah,
pattern.
which is so smart because then you don't have all that heaviness of your whole project,
and
and
well,
when
and
you're
if you're trying it on as you go, you can really see
yes,
how everything's
because the
fitting.
very V-neck, when you try it on without the neck, it's like whoa,
Very, 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 very.
extra V. So yeah, I
It's
love it.
beautiful,
It's
Heather.
a great pattern.
Very V by Jessie May.
Really easy.
Mm-hmm.
I love a nice raglan sweater.
I know. Me too. I mean, obviously, I love raglan stuff.
Great.
I know. Any other whips this week?
Nothing I want to show yet.
Okay. I've got some Stashquisitions that are not necessarily new, but when I was going through my stash and trying to like organize, and I needed to move things into better storage to protect them,
Yes.
I rediscovered some yarn that was still in its original shipping package that I hadn't put into the stash yet. So I thought we'll pretend it's new Stashquisitions. So these are from Knitted WIP, who is one of my favorite yarn companies ever.
Shop favorite.
Shop favorites.
I love Knitted WIP.
I know. And I've another person that we got to meet at Stitches last year.
I already
Laura
knew
Jean.
her.
I know. Well, you've been in the industry longer than me. Okay, so I think we'll start with the sock weight. So this is Knitted WIP fingering weight sock weight. So it's 100% superwash merino, and this is the color She Persisted,
Love
named
that.
after the wonderful Elizabeth Warren. And I think that I can't remember if it was like she was running at low or some reason I just was like, oh, before it's gone I have to get it. So I got this She Persisted, and I haven't decided what to do with it yet, but I love it, especially because guess what, it's gray. It's gray with colors on top, so it's got beautiful purples and like a bright teal, dark blue, yellow, and reds and stuff in there, even like a little bit of pink. Oh, it's so pretty. So this is one of those that I got just to have in my collection more than anything. Isn't that pretty?
I love it. And Knitted WIP, their Victory sock. This is not that.
No, that's not the Victory
But
sock.
is my hands down very favorite sock yarn in the universe.
Yeah.
It makes this, you wouldn't know since you don't have socks that
For
you knit for
myself.
yourself. It makes the squishiest, most comfortable socks. I love it so much.
Are you gonna get more in the shop soon?
Yes, I want to.
So I can buy
I
myself
need
some,
to.
so I can
need
knit
to.
myself some Victory
Well,
socks.
you have to knit
It will be a true victory
your other
for me to
socks
have
first.
my own. They don't watch this. They're not going to know. But yes, I love this one. So, and then the other two. So this is another favorite base from Knitted WIP of mine. So this is the Polworth Sparkle, I think. What does she call it? Oh, Polworth Shimmer. And this is a DK, again, from Knitted WIP. and this is in the National Park colors. So this is Bryce Canyon, and it's 85% Polworth and 15% silk. So it's got some strength and shine to it that's a little bit, it just is like a little bit extra special DK, but it's still delicious and squishy. So this one, I don't know what I'm going to make, but I knew I needed it because it's so pretty. And it's 330 yards of DK. Like, you could totally do a couple of things with this. Yeah. So this is gorgeous because it's, you know, all of those like kind of like dark orange, kind of like brown colors, like those beautiful earthy colors, with this bright blue, and then it goes into like a dark blue. It's so pretty. I know. And then last but not least, this one is my favorite. So this is the Joshua Tree National Park color. And again, same thing, Polworth shimmer from Knitted Wit with just, I love how it has that extra bit of silk to it. It's so pretty. So this one has just every color that you can find at Joshua Tree National Park. And it's got all those beautiful browns and oranges, and then some bright blue into turquoise and a little pop of purple. But this totally reminds me of the color of like the sunset there. It's just so gorgeous. So I love this one. And I'm thinking, technically this is like a skein of yarn that might be a gift if I end up knitting it in time for Dano, because he loves Joshua Tree National Park. And I made him a hat out of Polworth shimmer in, I guess it's the fingering weight, but I'm not sure if there was nylon for sock. I think it's this exact base, but in fingering weight. And I made him a hat years ago, and it's still one of his favorites. He wears it all the time, and it has no wear. It looks like just as good.
Do you remember
as
what
day one
pattern you used for that?
A pattern I made up, wrote down, and probably should publish. It's got these really cool like chevrons and pearl stitches, so just like a little bit like a texture. But it's just such a good, it's a great base. So these are my new to me because I just remembered them Stashquisitions from my Knitted Wit collection that is slowly growing in my stash.
I feel like we can all learn something from Justine.
Yeah.
If you can't go shop at the yarn shop, go shop your stash.
Definitely. This is also making me want to get more though, so that's why I asked if you were going to get some more Knitted Wit in.
I love Knitted Wit.
Eventually.
Yes.
Okay. How about you? Do you have any new Stashquisitions?
I do. I just had my birthday.
That's right. Big Pisces energy.
Yep. Definitely that. So I got some gifts from my friends. People know I like yarn, I guess. Most people know not to buy yarn for me unless they are a knitter and they know. You know, like you ever get yarn gifts and you're like, oh.
I have to say, people, my people have learned over the years to get me like collector's items or things that are like really special, that are
like yarn related. Okay, so I'm gonna start off with these. My friends Tina and Aiden got me a bunch. Oh man, I have other stuff that's knitting.
These are
related
so cute.
to.
Do you need some help holding them up?
No,
they're so little.
I'm really tiny. This is kind of stuck. Okay, it's fine. So they're little tiny progress keepers that are books. So, cute. So this is Little Women. I love Louisa May Alcott. Little Women's one of my favorite books.
Same. So good.
And little Alice in Wonderland.
Those are really cool.
And Wuthering Heights is the other one that I got. So they're just cute little progress keepers, and they're really, really light. So,
so they're not going to weigh down your knitting.
So cute. Those are an Etsy purchase. And yeah, they're just the cutest.
That's really
cutest
cool.
little things. So then,
Very sweet, Heather.
I think this is a stitch marker. Could put a thing on it and make it a progress keeper.
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Justine,
I know. I surprised you.
Got me a bunch of stuff from Ritual Dyes, which was quite a treat.
I know. We love Ritual Dyes.
Yeah, so we met her last year at
too.
Stitches, and I got the Ritual Dyes Pisces shirt, and you got the yarn, right? You got the Libra yarn?
I can't remember what I got, to be honest.
Go shop your stash again.
I have to go look. I definitely got some goodies, though. Yeah.
And so here, it's so pretty. This sweet little hand, which is that
little maker's hand.
Yeah.
And I got you the mint color.
Mint. I love mint
love
colored yarn stuff. And I got the enamel pin, Pisces enamel pin, which is so pretty.
So if you guys don't know, she has a whole zodiac collection.
Yeah.
With yarn colors for each zodiac sign, pins. I think there might be project bags. There used to be shirts. It's the best.
And there's yarn.
There's yarn.
In all the zodiac signs.
And they're like perfect.
Really
for each
good.
sign.
Really good. So this is the Ritual Dyes Pisces colorway. And yeah, it has like this gray base like we love with the minty greens, like chartreuse in there.
Yeah, definitely some chartreuse.
Even, and this is lace weight 70/30 kid mohair and silk.
It's perfect for adding things. Yeah, I broke that rule of getting, first of all, a knitter and a yarn shop owner yarn for their birthday, because this is special.
Ritual Dyes.
That's right.
Beautiful.
I know. Because this is like a little collector's piece.
It is. And Ritual Dyes is kind of hard to come by.
Yes.
You don't see it very often, and it's like definitely a splurge yarn. You know.
I know. So there you go.
Yeah, I love it. Thanks, Justine.
You're welcome. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
And I figured this would be cool to put with something that you might find later.
Yeah.
Mix it in.
Yeah, I knitted a whole sweater, so faded sweater from my stash out of different shades of mint. Because
that's one of my favorite sweaters. It's so good.
I always buy mint colored yarn or something with minty in it, and then I was just stash diving one day and I was like, oh, look at all these mint and gray colors I have. They would go together so perfectly.
Isn't it funny what we collect? All the same colors end up in our stash,
which it's so great that all the fades are happening now. Yeah. You can take those colors that you collected over the years and, put them together and make a whole project with all these, one single skeins.
Yeah.
Which I am definitely a bad yarn buyer for myself, because I always buy, one skein of sock yarn.
Yep.
Maybe that's fine, but it's, okay. If I go into a yarn shop, I'm going to buy something.
Right.
So whenever we travel,
it's like
anywhere,
a little souvenir.
you go to all the yarn shops on the way, and you need to buy at least one skein of yarn, and you're like, oh, this is when I went to this cute yarn shop.
Yeah, exactly.
And a good rule of thumb, I think, for myself and maybe other people too, is find one skein of hand-dyed fingering weight sock yarn.
Yep.
And you know, if you can't put with something else, you can knit a pair of socks
for sure.
For yourself with.
It's a good thing to add to always be adding to your stash.
Or you can knit a one skein shawl. Or if it's just a skein, then you just go get yourself another skein and you have a 2 skein shawl.
Yes, or some mohair.
Or mohair. Yeah, because you can always put that with something.
Oh, that's something I got when I couldn't decide what to get at the Knitted WIP booth during Stitches. Was I ended up getting some mohair because I knew that could go in my stash.
Fairy floss.
The fairy floss, yeah, because I just was overwhelmed by everything.
Yeah. This is your first stitches.
That was my first stitches.
It is.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we had like
It's a
no
lot.
time to shop because we were at the booth,
Mhm.
and so I just had to make, which is so hard because I'm a Libra, so I just had to like make quick decisions, and I was like, oh, fairy floss.
That's why I just like bought her stuff, because like she's gonna be sad she didn't buy this.
Thank you, looking out for me.
Someone has to.
I know, and this was easy because Lady Di was catty corner from our booth.
I know, so we're just like staring at the booth all day.
Yeah, so I was shopping just like, you know,
Like,
from
oh,
far
there she
away,
is.
and then I could make my decisions. It was so funny. When I went to the neighborhood Fiber Co. Booth, I basically was like, please hold my hand and tell me what I should get. 'Cause
Everything.
They
Everything
had
in neighborhood
so much
Fiber Co.
stuff. Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, I
All those
should-
solids. Oh,
All
God,
those
they're
beautiful
so
solids.
pretty.
I
So
know.
pretty.
And they're so helpful with color picking and stuff like
Mhm.
that. So I ended up getting some really good stuff from there. Maybe I should bring that on the next episode. My neighborhood Fiber Co. things.
Maybe you should.
Maybe. Any other Stashquisitions, Heather?
That's
That's it for now?
it for now. I do have some new stuff for the shop.
Ooh, what do you have for the shop?
So I've been making bats
Mhm.
because I do spin. I don't think I talked about spinning at all in our first podcast. I love spinning yarn so much. I've had a spinning
good.
wheel for 10 years, I think. And when I first learned to spin, I really liked it. And I didn't want to like it because I know that when people are spinners, they're not usually knitters. Tell me if
You
I'm
like
wrong.
one or the other.
I mean, because when you spin, it's so much fun.
Mhm.
And you want to spin more
Mhm.
than you want to knit.
That's funny.
And
Spinning is the one area I haven't delved into, but
it's
I might soon.
I like spinning so much, and spinning wheels are so beautiful,
Mhm.
and I have somehow gotten quite the
Acquired
collection
some.
of
Mhm.
spinning wheels. I think I have 5 of them. And
And then you just got that little
and I just
tabletop
got the little
right?
one
Yeah.
that I do really like. It's not like as fun to do. Like it feels
Mhm.
weird, like not moving your foot around at all while you're spinning.
Yeah.
It feels like kind of awkward. But I do recommend that. I got the electric eel wheel, and
I like that name.
if cute, right?
Is it a good beginner?
Yes, it's good
Yeah.
for if you've never
I feel like
spun
that's what I should
before
start
and
with.
you're like, I don't want to invest $1,000 in a
Mhm.
spinning wheel,
Mhm.
which I have never done. I've never bought a spinning wheel. All mine are secondhand given to me.
It's amazing.
Anne gave me these beautiful spinning wheels, I think from the 70s.
Yeah.
And they're so gorgeous.
So
And they have like all these little. I'll spin on the podcast one day. Or we'll do a bonus episode.
I
Or
know.
something.
I was just about to say, I'm like scared of it because I totally
Mhm.
don't know how it works and I don't want to mess it up.
Mhm.
I feel like you should show me how to spin on the electric eel
Yes.
on the pod.
Yes.
If you guys want to see that, comment and tell us.
Yes. Yeah, I think that would be fun. Yeah, it's the electric eel wheel is a $100 investment,
Mhm.
which is not anywhere near as much as
a
a
spinning
full
wheel.
regular
Yeah.
spinning wheel.
Yeah. That's not bad.
And it's little.
Because I always think of equipment as being like very expensive.
Yeah,
so,
it's little,
yeah.
it's tiny, it comes with everything you need, and it doesn't take up a
Yeah.
whole room in your house.
And you carry drop spindles in
I
the
do
store,
carry drop
right?
spindles.
Yeah, which is
I
another great way to
I'm
start.
not good at using a drop spindle. I learned that first, and I was never able to get the hang of it.
That's like me and crocheting. Yay!
But so I do have some bats that I made
I wanna see. It's so pretty.
on my drum carder. So making bats is very fun,
Oh my goodness.
and
so pretty, Heather.
kind of
Look
like,
at that. Look at all those like golds and stuff in there.
yeah. And there's even like some little green bits
And some red.
hidden
I see some
away.
pink.
Yeah,
And some purple. It's like a nice soft gray purple
yeah.
on top.
And more and more
Gorgeous.
people I've noticed have been spinning. And I've been spinning a lot. I spent like my birthday weekend spinning yarn.
It's a good at-home activity, right?
It's okay. I'm just going to spin yarn all day long for my birthday. So
is that what you did?
Do whatever you want.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's
Other
great.
than the time I spent with you.
Yeah, having treats and some drinks.
Here's one. I'm trying to do more natural colors because I do tend to
this is
do
like a
very bright.
This is a pretty neutral color.
Especially for me. It's great.
This is the preliminary lesson to me embarrassing myself with the electric
no, it
eel.
looks beautiful. Okay,
Here's
okay,
this looks edible.
This
looks like it should be cotton candy. Oh my god, so good. Look at how fluffy it is.
So this is another one.
Heather, this one's cool.
Yeah. So you can get some stripy business depending on how you're going to spin this.
Does everyone else think this looks like we should be eating it? Like, this does not look like fiber to spin with.
And it does have some white on the inside.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's when I make the bats, what's really hard for me, because I sell bats that I make, I want to spin all of them.
Yeah. But that's okay.
I'll just keep this one.
Well, you should keep some for yourself.
Oh, I do.
Okay, great.
I do.
Great.
I keep a lot of them. Sorry, world. And then I have...
But these are for sale?
Yes.
Okay. So if you see something you like, you were... it's available to purchase.
Yes. So then this last one... Oh, I have two more.
Yeah.
So this, when I wind yarn for people or myself or make Justine wind her own yarn, I always keep the little scrappy bits.
Like the little ties and stuff.
And I just fill a jar up with them, and then when it's full, I bring it home, and maybe I do this, maybe I don't. I kept seeing this everywhere online, where you make a bat with yarn scraps.
It's so cool.
And I do, episode 0, I showed a yarn that I had spun with a scrap bat.
Yeah.
So this is
that's on Heather Yarn Co. IGTV if you want to go see it.
Yes.
Yeah. Because it looks so cool spun up. Here, do you need my help?
So, sure. So this is just a white, like natural merino wool, and I carded it with all these little tiny yarn scraps. So there you can see like a really
so neat.
Big one over here. Right.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's fun. It's really messy to spin with. The next one I do,
is that good for like summer outdoor knitting? I mean spinning.
Oh yes.
Not knitting.
Then those little birdies can put those little bits that fly off in their nest.
Yes.
Yes. Let's go spin at the park. That sounds so much.
That would be fun.
Okay.
Okay, so now I definitely have to learn to spin.
Here's another one.
I mean, I guess I can knit while you're spinning in the park.
Yes. I love going to the park and knitting. With like some coffee,
some snacks.
So here's my last one, and this is another
neutral.
Neutral for me.
It's gorgeous. It's that kind of purpley, like slightly brownish gray again.
And then you open up, and it has a lot of like green.
The big reveal.
Look at that in it. This is a nice puffy bat.
Oh yeah,
too.
That's got some chartreuse.
Yes, I do love the chartreuse.
Can you guys see that? Look at how pretty. Heather. Yeah, I like it. It's very subtle, but it's still got some like not bright colors, but there's definitely some saturated colors.
Yes,
blended
and this
in.
will be very fun to spin with. That will make some really gorgeous yarn. And then I spun my birthday spin extravaganza that I had. My Steven, he helps me dye yarn sometimes, and he comes up with colorways because he's a painter, so he has like this eye for color that I just don't have it.
Our giveaway skein was dyed by Steve.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, on episode 1.
And he dyed some.
So pretty.
I'm so sad I don't have it with me today. He did dye some roving for me. And it looked like nuts. I was like, what are you doing? That looks crazy. And it looked like cheetah print or something.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like, it's like, what is this? And I spun it. Last night I spun more of it because I spun 2 skeins of it because it's so cool. It spins up really neat. So I don't know.
So he knows his shit, huh?
dye technique apparently. Because it turned out like variegated.
Ooh, neat. Yeah.
It's beautiful.
You're gonna have to post pictures.
I will.
Pictures on Instagram.
Well, it turned out very cool.
Awesome,
Yeah.
Heather.
So I got that.
That's new in the shop.
Lots of bats. There are a lot more than that in the store. Because people are still finding me. And if I could just spend a whole day making bats,
yeah,
it's very fun for me. And they're all made with my hand-dyed wool.
That's really cool.
Too. Because it's just so much fun to play with the colors and see what they do. So yeah, so please buy some bats for me so that I can make more.
Yeah.
Because I love making them.
I love it. That's really cool. Yeah. Awesome, Heather. Well, what do you think about some Coven questions?
Yes.
Is it time?
Yes.
You
Let's
have a
do
couple?
some Coven questions.
Right. Are you going to choose them?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
I will be choosing
Great.
them. Please don't.
I won't peek.
Please don't peek. This is a quick and easy one. I think we've actually talked about it, but let's do it.
Okay.
What is your sign? What's your sign?
I'm a Libra. My birthday's October 13th. Obviously, very obviously, I'm a Libra. So that's my sun sign, and I'm a Leo rising and a Cancer moon, which is a difficult combo. I will say it's a challenge.
Yes, it is. I am a Pisces, March 12th. I just had my birthday. So my sun sign is Pisces. My ascendant is Scorpio. So do with that what you will.
Spicy.
Super watery. And my sun sign is Sagittarius.
You mean moon sign?
Yes. I mean moon sign. So we just did, I did Justine's chart. She'd never had it done before.
Not in a real way. Yeah.
Yeah. And we both have a lot of fire and water, which was hilarious. I'm like, oh my god, look at you. That's why we're
steamy.
We're both so all over the place because I know that I love
it.
Mostly fire and water, like
yes, but
mostly.
And that's for me and you, but then our partners are earth signs, and then
both Tauruses.
Yeah, and then I feel like we have a lot of friends who might be air signs, so it's, gotta balance it out. But yeah,
I'm just like surrounded by Libras almost constantly. There's
Libras and Pisces are very lucrative and compatible and
so they say.
Harmonious combo. So they say. Listen, I have lots of evidence.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Let's do some quickies.
Okay.
Here. What do we got? Where is your favorite place to knit?
Oh, geez. That's hard. I mean, I think I love to knit on like my cozy spot on the couch with the dogs next to me and, you know, either listening to a podcast or watching TV or something like that. But I do also love knitting on the beach, which sounds dangerous, but if you pack the right project,
you know how to do it.
If you know how to do it, there's something really lovely about knitting outdoors with like a gorgeous view.
I think the last time that I was at the beach, I was in San Francisco, and I was knitting on a sweater, which I just wanted to be done with it, you know. So that was like
That's
walking
not
on the
a
beach
recommended
knitting
beach project.
Sweater, like 100% wool bulky sweater. And we're in San Francisco, so if you're not in California, there are very different kinds of beaches here.
Yeah.
So the San Francisco beach is like yucky, like not gross, but it's like very like overcast, and my project was soaking wet
because it's foggy. It's just fog.
I know better, but I really wanted to get that finished, so I was like,
did it felt?
This is like wet.
Did it
No, it's fine. It's fine. I wear
that would have been hilarious.
I wear it.
Felted by the beach.
I know.
So great.
No, good.
Great.
Socks are good for that kind of situation.
Yeah, socks are good.
Cotton.
Yeah. Yep.
cotton knitting.
Definitely.
But yeah, I do love knitting at the beach. In the before times, I love to sit at my favorite coffee shop and knit.
Yeah.
And just drink coffee all day long and like eat little pastries and stuff.
So good.
So that was the thing I used to do one day. Maybe that will happen again. And park knitting like under like a nice shady tree in the summer when it's like so gross and hot outside, but you find like
a perfect shady
spot.
Lovely. I know.
Yep.
Well, I think we have time for one more. Do you want to do one more?
Let's see if we have.
Oh, sorry.
Let's see if we have.
I can't help it. I just start reading them.
Another quickie here.
And if you ever have any questions that you want to submit for Coven Questions, you just comment them on any episode and we'll pull them and answer them. Oh, that reminds me, we did get a good one on episode 1. Maybe we can end with that one. So someone was asking me why it's important to not wind your skeins if you're doing a big multi-skein project. So I was working on a sweater and I think I had said like, oh, I'm not winding them, and so here's all my like just regular skeins that aren't wound yet in the bag. So there's not like a hard and fast rule, but essentially you want to store your yarn the way you bought it. So if you're not going to use it, you know, in the near future, and so store your yarn as hanks, wound up, you know, wrapped as skeins, and then wind your yarn as you're using it, if possible. And I've definitely broken this rule. Like I have yarn in my stash that I thought I was going to use, so I wound it, and it's sitting there wound. And anyway, eventually it just kind of not stretches,
it gets those, like,
but
curly bits too.
Yeah.
Like you ever pull out, you frog something, and it gets really curly and like ramen noodly looking. Yeah. And if it sits in a cake for too long, it
like messes with the tension of the yarn, and so that can mess up your gauge over time. So for that particular instance, because my sweater needs like, I think it's 8 skeins of yarn or something like that, so I have everything still in skein form in the project bag, because I know I'm not going to finish that sweater anytime soon. That's one of those like, I'm going to knit this for a long time in between projects kind of project. So I'm just winding one at a time. So it just depends on what your plan is, and then go according to that. And that yarn is 100% wool. It's not superwashed, anything like that. So I feel like I want to protect it as best as I can. And I can also store it in the plastic bag and keep, you know, hopefully prevent moths from getting to it and that kind of thing. So it just keeps it clean, it keeps it nicer, and then when you are ready, just wind it up and go. Yeah. So that's why I was doing that for that sweater. But if you know you're gonna like do this sweater and it's your one project and you're gonna knit it soon, no reason not to wind your yarn and use it right away.
And just because your yarn is in cakes, that doesn't mean it's ruined.
No, not at all. You just not
might,
at all. Your gauge might be off or something like that. Yeah. So it's just a nice preventative measure, but it's not the end of the world if you don't. So yeah, knitting rules are, if you're happy, you're doing it right.
Yes.
And that's it, I think, for that one, right? Yeah, and I'll probably work on that one a little more, though. Now that I've gotten it out again, I'm kind of enjoying all of that seed stitch on that, on those big needles. Kind of fun. All right, well, send us your questions for Coven Questions, because that's always fun to answer them.
Yes, comment below. We are really happy with the response we've gotten from
I know,
episode
this has been
1.
so fun. We're so happy to be doing this with y'all, and be sure to like this video and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and turn on notifications so you can see when our videos come out. And we'll be posting more episodes in the future, some bonus episodes. Yeah, we have some fun stuff planned coming soon.
Yes. Trying to think. Do we have anything important that people need to know about?
I don't know. I don't think so. Okay. Just be sure you know where to find us, follow us. We'll put all of our I know. Everything we talked about today, we're going to put down in the show notes in the description box. So you can go find the patterns and the yarns and see all of the makers that we love.
Yeah, so thank you so much for watching episode 2 of Yarncantations, and
We'll see you soon.